Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're looking at a short match that I played on the Alaska map with the TM2 IP. This was actually my first high tier vehicle in War Thunder because I was very impatient, and I went Wallet Warrior mode to get myself a taste of that high tier love. It was also the vehicle that let me realize just how much more I enjoy playing at the mid and lower BRs as opposed to the higher ones. So let's talk about that for a bit. Now, just to clarify, it wasn't the TAM2 IP that I didn't enjoy, quite the opposite actually. The TAM2 IP is an awesome tank, so hit me up in the comments section if an in-depth review of it is something that you would find useful. Now let's get straight into it. First on the list of things I dislike about high tier matches is that often there are less players playing at this level and you often end up in matches with a lot less people. For example, you end up in a match with 8 people per team versus the usual 16 on 16. In my opinion, more players equals more targets, which equals more kills, which equals more fun. That is unless you enjoy driving around for 5 to 6 minutes before encountering your first enemy target and ending the match with 1 or 2 kills. I think the reason for this can be credited to the fact that the game implements a pretty stiff paywall at around tier 4, where it simply takes forever to grind vehicles at that point if you don't have a premium account. Because of this, there are more players at mid to low tiers because you have a combination of free-to-play players as well as those with premium accounts. Another issue I encounter often at higher tiers is the practice of leaving the match after one vehicle is destroyed. Now, this is not exclusive to high tier gameplay alone. It does also happen at mid and low tiers, but is much more prevalent at higher tiers. My guess is that this is due to several reasons. There is the high repair costs associated with higher tier vehicles. Another reason is helicopters. Speaking of the latter, consider the following. Picture this: you spawn into a game at high tier, and seconds later, after leaving your spawn, your vehicle blows up from a helicopter missile you never even saw coming. I can imagine that this type of gameplay is tons of fun for whoever is piloting the helicopter, floating blissfully at a distance of 3 to 5 kilometers from the battlefield. But when you're the one on the receiving end of these long-range missiles, you can't help but ask yourself the following question. Should I just spawn another vehicle to feed this guy more kills, while at the same time flushing silver lines down the toilet in repair costs? I guess you could spawn in an SPAA, but not everybody plays SPAAs. And furthermore, not all SPAAs have the range to take out a helicopter from 5 kilometers away. Gun-based SPAAs typically can't shoot anything down that is further than 1.5 to 2 kilometers in distance. Yet another reason for the die one time leave the match practice has a far simpler explanation. Some newer players simply don't have more than one higher tier vehicle in their lineup, and once the backups are gone, they have no choice but to return to the hangar once the one vehicle in their lineup has been destroyed. Either way, regardless of the reason for it, this practice leads to a high imbalance in the match and is one of the reasons why high tier matches are frequently much shorter in duration. Call me old-fashioned, but I kinda enjoy a relatively close match that lasts 15 to 20 minutes. It's an exhilarating feeling when you are 15 minutes into a match that is neck and neck and has come down to the wire, and you know that your next play could mean the difference between victory and defeat for your team. I think we have all had matches like this before where your heart beats faster and you get into focus mode because of how close the match is. It's super exciting stuff and I love matches like this. Now honestly, how often do you get games like this at high tier? Usually in high tiers, the match is decided within the first 3 to 5 minutes of battle, and more often than not, the matches are wrapped up by the 10-minute mark. At least that's been my experience thus far. Let me know in the comments section if your experience has been different. Lastly, there is a huge difference in repair costs. I touched on this a bit earlier in the video, but I'd like to elaborate on that because it does affect my mood during the game, and I'll explain why. In higher tiers, I feel pressured to not lose any more vehicles than absolutely necessary because of the high repair costs, which makes me enjoy the experience just a tad bit less. In tier 2 and 3, I can go out, lose 3 or 4 vehicles, and I don't really care because guess what, at that point, the repair costs are not very concerning to me. I know other players also feel this way because they are much less hesitant to respawn multiple times in the match, and as a result you have more vehicles in the battle, providing lots of targets to shoot at and very dynamic firefights. I also like that no one has laser rangefinders, so you get to show off your gunnery skills, and the battles have a tendency to be able to turn on a dime, which makes the games more exciting. If you absolutely love the high tiers, that's cool. Let me know in the comments section and why. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.